Good morning, good evening, good all the things. Hi, what's going on? I am Catie Brannon, and this is Tea Time True Crime with Catie. And we just hang out together, which I absolutely love. If true crime is something you are fascinated with, definitely hit the like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Also, if you are into good vibes, good energy, welcome, welcome. So happy you're here. I talk about cases that are not really talked about, and I try to find obscure cases so we all could be the voice for the voiceless. Okay? So this case I want to talk about, again, it's not well known. There is not even a podcast about this case, which I found very, surprising because the context of this case is pretty, steamy, if you catch my drift. We're going to be talking about Charles Pierce. Charles Pierce was only 49 years old when he lost his life. It was just senseless. It was a senseless, just killing. It was a murder. Let's just be frank here. It was a straight up murder on an innocent man. So grab a comfort item, grab a snack, and let's talk about Charles Pierce. Now, if it's your first time here, what's going on? I'm so happy you're here. And please know that I have contacted Charles and I say, hi, Charles. Hope I can call you Charlie, but I am here for you. You did not die in vain. And I wish you positive energy. And I hope I tell your story correctly in the way you want it to be told. All right. Before we get into this weird, bizarre story, I'm going to talk about, not really a sponsor, but I'm going to talk about a YouTuber who I have recently been watching a lot on my downtime. If you are a fan of horror, thriller, body horror, gore, anything that comes with horror movies, definitely check out Ghost Pirate Entertainment. The host is named Kanan Becker, and he has an eye patch, and he's awesome. He has a great vibe, even though you see horrific images, still shots from movies that may be disturbing to people. He keeps it light. I really enjoy his non-bias kind of view on movies. He just tells it to me straight. He tells me what to watch, what not to watch, and we seem to have the same taste in movies. So you may not like his taste in movies, but that's fine. What I really like about him is he talks about obscure horror movies, and my favorite are the art house horror. Kind of low budget, just has a really great story. Sometimes it's from a foreign country. It just depends on the entertainment of it. When I go and see a horror movie, I want to have fun. I don't want to leave just feeling really sad. And I know that's me saying that, having a true crime channel, but you got to have a balance in life. So my favorite horror is paranormal jump scares. I'm really not into gore or body horror, but if it's a great story, like Scream or Thanksgiving, just something that it just doesn't take itself too seriously and has puns, sign me up. But then I get into the weirder stuff. Have you guys seen the movie Men? Please let me know. My dad actually recommended that movie for me. I know, I don't think he understood it, honestly, but it was definitely a feminist horror movie. It was very well done. I had to actually look up some of the meanings and the endings. I'm what did I just watch? And I was wondering, Ghost Pirate Entertainment, Kanan, how you doing if you're watching, if you talked about that movie yet. I don't know. It came out last year, but I've been watching his recent videos and I just love the vibe. So definitely check him out if you're a horror fan or just want to know some good horror movies to watch. He talks about Tubi, Hulu, Netflix, Amazon. He just talks about the different platforms you can watch the movies. So yeah, thank you Ghost Pirate Entertainment for giving me awesome info and for finding really cool movies. appreciate that. So thank you. All right, you guys. So we're going to talk about Charles Pierce. Now, Charles Pierce was 49 years old when he lost his life. And I don't know if I should just start about how he passed away. Maybe I should just start from the beginning. We're going to talk about Lisa Schuler as well. Now, Lisa Schuler, this crime took place May 6, 2013. Yeah. So, 10 years ago, almost. Yeah, 10 years ago. Not the best at math, you guys, but, you get it. So, Charles Pierce was he was in an affair with Lisa Schuler. So, Lisa Schuler, by this time, she's 31 years old. And she is married. It does not say if she had children or not. That information may be just not known. I'm not sure. But I do know that her husband, Brandon, of 10 years. Yeah. They, looks can be deceiving, just like social media posts sometimes can be deceiving. She was married to Brandon for 10 years. Yes. Lisa was also a devout Christian woman. And before anyone comes at me, this case has a lot to do with religion. And if you don't like the talk of religion, that's fine. I'm Switzerland about this kind of matter, but I want to talk about her being really religious because it really took part of what she did and why she did it. So, but she was a devout Christian woman, and she also worked for, in the medical field. Yeah, she actually learned how to do CPR on dummies. She worked around people. Lisa was actually known, from people in Indiana. So she moves to New Albany, Indiana because, 10 years with Brandon, and I'm sorry, Brandon, if you're watching this, there is no excuse for people to have an affair or cheat. And then also, I'm not going to blame people because we don't know their life. We don't have their feelings or, like I said, how they feel. And please do not go in the comments and say that this man deserved what he got. I will delete those right away. That is not cool at all. Because nobody deserves to die, especially not in this horrific way. As I said, Lisa and Brandon have been married decade, right? Okay. I know they have a dog together. That could be their fur baby child. So, but she's not happy. Lisa wants to have a break. Yeah, she wants some space. And she definitely gets it. They're not divorced per se. Brandon is, of course, shocked. He thought everything was good. Everything was fine. They go to church all the time. They're with each other families are friends with each other. It's a big, close-knit kind of situation. But Lisa was not happy. She was not satisfied, especially in the bedroom. I know I'm not here to kink shame anybody. You do you. But yeah, Lisa was not happy in the bedroom. I think that she just wanted something different. So along comes Charles Pierce. So Lisa starts to just take a break from her husband, Brandon. And he is just shocked. He's just basically cheating is a cardinal sin, And she's like, oh, I know, I'm not. She's like, I need space. And she did. She moved to New Albany. This is all taking place in Indiana. But Charles Pierce was from Louisville, Kentucky. Now, Charles Pierce was 49. He was a fisherman. And he was, currently looking for a job. But he just got a job. And being a fisherman, I think it's one of the most hardest, careers because you're gone for so long. And yes, it's very lucrative, but it's extremely dangerous. Yeah. So during this time, Charles is the youngest son of Mildred Pierce. Mildred Pierce and Charles, she loved her son so much. He actually lived really close by to his mother. She at that time was she was diagnosed with cancer. Yeah, the big C. Awful. So he would go to the house like twice a day and yell from the back door, "Mom," just to always check on his mom. And so, yeah, as I'm reading about him, he seems like a really chill guy. Seems like a nice guy. You just thought he got really, really lucky. But it finds out luck was not on his side. So you have, 31-year-old Lisa moving out. She out, okay? And, Brandon is left heartbroken. Like, what did he do wrong? But that's a different story. So Lisa and Charles, they live close to one another and they start having an affair. And they start like having, consensual sex, and it's going like really well. And finds out Lisa was kind of like on the freaky side. I mean, she a freak, okay? And there's no problem with that. No problem at all. Like I said, no kink shaming, okay? So her fantasy was the hard R fantasy. Yeah, I'm just going to say it. It was the rape fantasy. And if you guys who are not in the kinky scene, a rape fantasy is basically like hardcore sexual relations. Like either they get you from behind, there is choking involved, sometimes there's yelling. But apparently Lisa really liked the rape fantasy. And, Charles seemed like, okay, I will do it. Let's do it. So they were together quite a few times. And one night it got really hot and heavy. I mean, real steamy. And they start taking photos. And she's in this scantily clad lingerie, and he is probably no clothes. I didn't see the pictures. I don't know. I think the only people who have seen the pictures are the law enforcement, but they had to be pretty seedy for like this kind of outcome to happen. So she's taking these pictures and they're apparently making love during taking pictures, being kinky. And yes, let's just have your imagination and think of kinky rape fantasy sex. Okay. So she really enjoyed it and had a great time. But with her strong, devout Christian upbringing, something called guilt happened. And I'm not saying you have to be religious to have guilt. I don't agree with that at all. Whether you believe in something or not, guilt is real. It depends on how it's going to hit the person. Guilt is not a fun time. You feel guilty about like not only she is doing this scantily clad lingerie, not with her husband, but she's also taking photos of it. So by this time, Lisa is going buck wild. She is doing drugs. She is alcohol. Now, they didn't say what drugs. I'm thinking like, 2013, marijuana, the devil's lettuce, that may have been, the reefer. And then she did alcohol, and then she's having sex, just, like I said, going buck wild. Now, she, like I said, she left a 10-year marriage, and no one knows about this affair. The only person who knows is Charles' mother, Mildred. I don't think she knows the facts, like straight facts, like what they're doing in these sexual escapades, but I'm sure Mildred understands if he's like, hey mom, I'm seeing someone, or I'm going to go see her or whatever. And that's how like Mildred knew, like where exactly he was going, because he would tell his mom everything. Probably not everything, but he had a really strong bond with his mom, and he was her world, and it's just really, really sad. So, they're taking the pictures, and he is like feeling himself. You know what I'm saying? He has this girl on his phone. They're having awesome sex, just crazy kinky sex. It's consensual. It's great, right? No, guilt. Now, I don't know if he knew like the marriage that she was in. Like, he knew that she was married, but she moved out. So she probably said they were divorced, stuff like that, which wouldn't be a lie. I mean, she's out of the house. Like, the husband does not live there anymore. So it's a big break. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, the pictures are going, but the guilt, Lisa can't take it. It is driving her insane. Now, there is no excuse what she did to poor Charles. None whatsoever. And in fact, I think it's a guy's worst nightmare. In May 2013, she wants to see Charlie again. And of course, they've been having a good time, so why not have more good time, And she lured him to her home. And she was saying, oh, the door will be unlocked. Because he thought they were going to do that, like the rape fantasy thing, where she'd be washing dishes and he'd come up behind her, grab her by the throat, and then like kiss her hard, or what, I don't know. Like, yeah. So what ended up happening was, this is so messed up, you guys. Like, I'm not gonna cry, but I just can't imagine. Like, I can't imagine what Charles was thinking. So she texts him because she really wants those photos. And she realizes that, oh my gosh, he knows about the photos. He needs to be erased. I'm sorry, what? Like, come on. So, that night, he came to her home. They were acting out a fantasy. And right when his pants were down, literally, even his underpants, he is just full on ready to go, if you know what I mean, okay? So apparently it's not apparently, we just don't know if she finished or not. Yeah, you see where I'm going with this? I know. It's awful. So he's thinking he's having a good old time. They're kissing, she's right by the dishes. And then she she goes on her knees, pulls his pants down. Like, he's ready, okay? And she starts pleasing him, and yeah, oral sex. That's what it said. Like, some kind of sexual act is the, law and order terminology. A sexual act. I wonder what that is. I say it's like going down, or, giving head, or, yeah, sorry. You get it. Fellatio? All right, cool. So that's happening. And then all of a sudden, we don't know if it was to completion or not, but she grabs a gun from behind her back in the holster and shoots him. Like, while she's on her knees down there, she grabs the gun and shoots him. He goes back. He's like, oh my God. And he is in shock, and he lands on his back, and she just unloads a .40 caliber handgun in his chest. Yeah. And I was trying to see, oh my God, did he die quickly? Did it just hit him so hard and he was gone within a minute? No. That is not what happened. I'm sorry. I'm really upset because nobody ever deserves to get murdered, especially not like this. And this dude is just thinking he's about to have a good time, and he literally dies a horrible death. Like, she doesn't hit the vitals in his chest, so he bleeds out and dies. And while he's there dying, so confused, she is just asking for his phone password. Yeah, you heard right. Before she invited Charles over for an escapade, she deleted over 200 messages on her phone. And as he was bleeding to death and dying, she did not get the code to the phone. After that, after he died, she called 911. And she explained that an intruder came into her home. And of course, the police are there. But they automatically think something doesn't, feel right. Something doesn't feel right. And yeah, as soon as they question her, they have his phone and they see her name and they were like, can you tell me that you said that he was an intruder? You said you didn't know him. But it plainly here says, you know him. And she is not a criminal mastermind. She's not, okay? So she buckled so fast. Oh yeah, she sang like a canary and told him. And, everyone is in disbelief because they're like, why did you have to kill him? Like, he's literally, he's not judging you about your weird kink fetishes. He's pleasing you. You're feeling alive like you've never felt before. And then within weeks, you kill him? Yeah, they were only seeing each other for weeks. This wasn't a long tryst at all. So, yeah, it was all on her phone. And thank goodness that she could not open his phone because nothing was deleted. Everything was still on his phone. So in the beginning, she pled not guilty. And then with all the evidence and then with the amazing technology, believe it or not too bad, in 2013, they read 200 text messages and they probably saw the pictures. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I said, everyone was just shocked because Charles, that I read about what people talk about him, they said he was a really nice guy. He probably thought he was really lucky. He met a crazy woman. All to get rid of those pictures, you guys, all she had to do, if she was too afraid or too ashamed or, what have you, she could have took his phone and broke it. That's all she had to do. What do you guys think? I think it was way out of line. I think she should have been open with him and said, hey, delete those pictures. I feel really guilty. We should not be doing this. I need to fix things with my husband. Just be honest. But she didn't want to. She just thought, he's the problem. He needs to go away. What's really strange is on her Facebook account, when she was going through the sex, drugs, and everything, she made the Grim Reaper her Facebook profile picture. I know. It's weird, right? But the last thing she put on her Facebook, on the morning of the murder, her Facebook post was this: surely God is my salvation. I will trust and be not afraid. The Lord is my strength and my song. He has become my salvation. Yeah, talk about guilt. Now, I did see how she said that she does feel remorse. She feels absolutely awful. You should. You think that being a murderer is better than an adulterer? They both are horrible, but I think an adulterer, people stay alive. You know what I'm saying? It's no good. It's still bad. But if you murder somebody, someone's not alive. So I know that's a duh on my part. But I mean, the family didn't believe her. Poor Mildred Pierce. Like, she talked about that she will never, it will take her forever. Like, it was the worst day of her life ever. And not only she's dealing with cancer, but she keeps thinking that he's going to walk at the back door and call mom. But he'll never do that again. And Mildred, said that she did not think that the apology was sincere. And she said that, she planned my son's murder. Next time, she can't plan. She won't be able to plan. Now, you're wondering, well, what happened to her? I mean, can you imagine poor Charles? Getting pleasure and then getting shot to death? And I would think he would die fast, but he did not. And she looked at him, and he probably looked at her. He must have been in so much shock. He couldn't even, dude, isn't that an insane story? All because of her Christian values. She did not want people to know that she was an adulterer. Oh, okay. Like I said, you want to be a murderer rather than an adulterer? Yeah. Not much about Brandon. I'm hoping he divorced her butt, I don't know if they had kids or not. They didn't say that. But like I said, this is such an obscure case. But it just blew my mind. And you're wondering what I was wondering. Well, Catie, how was Charles found? Oh, well, I will put that picture in your head. And I apologize ahead of time. He was ready, ladies and gentlemen. If you get my drift. Schwing. Yeah. He was there shot to death with his pants down, everything showing. So when the first responders came to try to save someone, they had to see that. You couldn't pull up his pants. You had to humiliate him. What the hell did he ever do to you? But again, she blamed it on her. She could not ever put shame on her family by being an adulterer. That just blows my mind, you guys. If your life, you can do whatever you want to do. But cheating is not the answer. It's not. But he didn't deserve death. And I'm sure Brandon was why'd you kill him? Why did you kill this dude? You took this guy away from his family. This fisherman, I know, I think he's adorable for an older guy. But, yeah. I guess to take, I don't want to say, be careful who you hang out with, but it's do you really know that person, even when you're sleeping with them? And please let me know down in the comments below what you guys think about this case. This one has just been, haunting my brain for days, because I can't imagine, being found like that. Just the humiliation and the indecency. That's your private area. To share that with someone, to have it's just, I don't, okay. Sorry. I don't even have a sip of my tea. Well, it's okay. Yep, apple cinnamon. That is the way to go when it's cold as mess outside. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. I really, really appreciate you. If there is a story you want me to talk about next, definitely let me know in the comments or email me. Whatevs. I really appreciate your DMs. Don't forget to follow me on my socials. And yeah, you are loved and you are cherished. And remember, you are doing better than you think. Bye, guys.